Hi there, Hare Krishna. Welcome back to our YouTube channel, ISKCON Blantyre. We are currently discussing Narasimhadev, appearance and pastimes of killing Hiranyakashipu. From the 7th canto, 8th chapter. Yesterday we read till text 10. Today we'll read text 11 onwards and comment wherever necessary. Text 11. Hiranyakashipu replied, "You rascal, you are trying to minimize my value, as if you were better than me at controlling the senses. This is over intelligent. I can therefore understand that you desire to die at my hands, for this kind of nonsensical talk is indulged only by those about to die." Purport commentary by Prabhupada. It is said in the Hitopadesh, Upadesho hi murkhanam prakopaya nashantaye. If good instructions are given to a foolish person, he does not take advantage of them, but becomes more and more angry. Prahlad Maharaj's authorized instructions to his father were not accepted by Hiranyakashipu as truth. Instead, Hiranyakashipu became increasingly angry at his great son, who was a pure devotee. This kind of difficulty always exists when a devotee preaches Krishna consciousness to persons like Hiranyakashipu, who is interested in money and women. The word Hiranya means gold, and Kashipu means cushions or gold bedding. Moreover, a father does not like to be instructed by his son, especially if he is a father, if the father is a demon. Prahlad Maharaj, a Vaishnava, preaching to his demoniac father, was indirectly effective. For because of Prahlad Maharaj, because of Hiranyakashipu's excessive jealousy of Krishna and his devotee, he was inviting Narasimhadev to kill him very quickly. Thus he was expediting his being killed by the Lord himself. Although Hiranyakashipu was a demon, he is described here by added word Shri. Why? The answer is that fortunately he had such a great devotee son as Prahlad Maharaj. Thus he was a demon. Thus, although he was a demon, he would attain salvation and return home back to Godhead. Yes, a lot of things Prabhupada has mentioned in this purport. For example, he gave an example of the explanation of the name Hiranyakashipu. Hiranya means gold, and Kashipu means soft bed in general sense enjoyment. So those who are wanting money, gold, these days there's no gold, there's money, and enjoyment are Hiranyakashipus. So all of us are small Hiranyakashipus. Everybody has that same enjoying mentality, but we are not as big as Hiranyakashipu. Let's see, I've made some points here, we will see. And also Prabhupada mentioned the father does not like to be instructed by the son. Because father always thinks, I'm more experienced. I remember my father used to say, "Hey, don't tell me how to do things. I have seen more rainy seasons than you," which means I'm just more older than you. I've seen more in the world. So, generally the pattern goes that the elders don't want to listen to the young ones. They think, what does the young ones know? But nowadays, thanks to ChatGPT, Google, Gemini, and all these AI tools, it's highly possible that the child knows more than the father. But because the father has experience, he gets more points. You having knowledge counts, but if you have knowledge and if you know how to use that knowledge, that counts much more. So, Hiranyakashipu was all upset that, how can you even try to instruct me. I'm your father. I've seen more life than you. I've killed more demigods than you can even imagine. So, there's always a tussle between good and bad, and the elder and the younger. So, this was another one. But from the previous verse, we saw how, all his good fortune was lost because he offended his devotee son. So, if you would have taken his son's advice, that, my dear father, the same source is giving me the power to be against you. If you would have taken advice and surrendered to Vishnu, he would have lived longer. So yes, what to do? Demon is a demon. Demon is somebody who is not going to listen to the devotees, and even if he listens, he'll listen to just get done with it. Like we have seen, we as Hare Krishnas like to go out on the street, distribute literature, so that we can help people end their suffering. But then they just, because we are talking, they're like, yeah, just finish your talk and go. So some many of them are listening, but they're listening for us to get done and we can go. But that's not the point. The point is you should learn something and stop this miserable life of suffering. Yes, sir, we will go on to the other verse, text number 12. Translation: O most unfortunate Prahlad, you have always described a supreme being other than me, a supreme being who is above everything, who is the controller of everyone, and who is all pervading. But where is he? If he is everywhere, then why is he not present before me in this pillar? Commentary purport by Srila Prabhupada. Some demons sometimes declare to a devotee that they cannot accept the existence of God because they cannot see him. But what the demon does not know is stated by the Lord himself in the Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, verse 25. Naham prakasha sarvasya yoga maya samavritaha. I am never manifested to the foolish and unintelligent. For them I am covered by yoga maya. The Lord is open to being seen by devotees, but non-devotees cannot see him. The qualification of seeing God is stated in the Brahma Samhita 538. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santa sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti. A devotee who has developed genuine love for Krishna can always see him everywhere, whereas a demon, not having a clear understanding of the Supreme Lord, cannot see him. When Hiranyakasipu was threatening to kill Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad saw the column standing before him and his father, and he saw that the Lord was present in the pillar. To encourage him not to fear his demoniac father's words, the Lord was present to protect him. Hiranyakashipu marked Prahlad's observation and asked him, "Where is your God?" Prahlad Maharaj replied, "He is everywhere." Then Hiranyakashipu asked, "Why is he not present in this pillar before me?" Thus, in all circumstances, the devotee can always see the Supreme Lord, whereas the non-devotee cannot. Prahlad Maharaj has been addressed here by his father, the most unfortunate. Hiranyakashipu thought himself extremely fortunate because he possessed the property of the universe. Prahlad Maharaj, his legitimate son, was to have inherited this vast property, but because of his impudence, he was going to die at his father's hands. Therefore, the demoniac father considered Prahlad the most Therefore, the demoniac father considered Prahlad the most unfortunate because Prahlad would not be able to inherit his property. Hiranyakashipu did not know that Prahlad was the most fortunate person within the three worlds, because Prahlad was protected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such are the misunderstandings of demons. They do not know that the devotee is protected by the Lord in all circumstances. Konteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Yes, we are getting very close to the appearance day, not appearance day, the appearance of Narasimhadeva in this um, canto, or in this story that we are reading here. Now, his Prahlad's father is super angry and he's saying, if God, you are saying God Vishnu is everywhere, why is he not present in front in this pillar? And Prahlad Maharaj simply, having the faith of an innocent child, he's saying, no, he's present. So and Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport that God cannot be seen by everybody because they do not want to see God. They just want to, make sure that God does not exist. So to do that, they'll do everything. So for them, they come up with this quotation, quote unquote, if I cannot see God, God does not exist. Seeing is believing. How can seeing just be believing? Or just seeing be believing? Are we seeing the air around us? No, we cannot see the air around us, but we can feel it. The fact that we are living, we are breathing, which means the air exists. So, not everything that you can see is believable. Now, AI is making so much of advancement. Recently, I found my sister send me a small video clip of how my late father is sitting with us, and we are all talking to him. And I'm like, this conversation never took place. I remember sitting with him, and we had a picture. So what you can see, you can't believe because that never happened. And air, something like air which you cannot see, you have to believe, because how can you stay without believing that air exists? You need to breathe. So yes, seeing is not only believing. So generally materialistic people are somebody who have eye problem, eye issues. So whenever we have eye issues, we go to the eyes specialist, optometrist, and he'll check your eyes or our eyes from all the angles, and if necessary you'll get extra eyes. If not, he'll just recommend you certain eye drops. Go to the pharmacy, go to the chemist, go to the medical store, get these Patanjali eye drops or whatever eye drops it may be. And then we put the eye drops, and within a few days the eyes are okay, they are able to see properly. So we can compare that to materialistic people, to people with having eye issues, eye problems, who cannot see God, who cannot see the simple physics, how God is running the earth. So for that, Lord Brahma in the Brahma Samhita has, given us this nice ointment. He's the doctor, he's the engineer of this universe. So he has said, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. Anjan means ointment. We should have Prema Anjan. We should have ointment of love of God. We should have, that ointment to understand how God is, going around doing his things, supporting us, and technically we should also serve him, because when we serve the whole, we are part and parcels of God. If we are serving the whole, that's when the part and parcel is happy. And we can take many many examples. Just take like the screw from my glass falls off, and it's my glass is broken, but I can still try to use it somehow or the other, but the screw has no use. But if the screw comes back, and we I put the same screw back, then the screw has value. So similarly, we have left God, comparing it to my glasses. My glasses are not God, but just comparing. We have left God as if the screw of my glass. But if we go back, then the screw has value. The screw has value now. It can help me open and close, and adjust my tightness of my glasses. But if it's not there, some other screw will I'll be using. So this screw is practically useless. It has no value in life. So similarly, we are part and parcels of God, and our value will be increased million folds if we serve the Lord. Okay, let me see what else did I make notes for. And same thing like we discussed yesterday, how Prahlad Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu's conversation is going. Where is he getting the power? So power is coming from the same place, the Supreme Lord. You cannot have power coming from somewhere else. So yes, and let's read a little ahead and conclude today's day. Text 13. Oops. Translation. Because you are speaking so much nonsense. Now Hiranyakashipu is talking to his son Prahlad. Because you are speaking so much nonsense, I shall now sever your head from your body. Now let me see your most worshipable God come to protect you. I want to see it. Purport, commentary by Prabhupada. Demons always think that God, sorry, demons always think that the God of the devotee is fictitious. They think that there is no God and that the so-called religious feeling of devotion to God is but an opiate, a kind of illusion, like the illusions derived from LSD and opium. Hiranyakashipu did not believe Prahlad Maharaj when Prahlad asserted that his Lord is present everywhere. Because Hiranyakashipu, as a typical demon, was convinced that there is no God and that no one could protect Prahlad, he felt encouraged to kill his son. He challenged the idea that the devotees is always protected by the Supreme Lord. Yes, devotee is always protected by the Supreme Lord. People have problem with that because they themselves are not protected. Now there was Corona and there was so much hoo-ha 5 6 years ago. Oh, Corona is coming, so many people are dying. Where is God? So God did not say in the Bhagavad Gita that if there is some disease or some pandemic, I'm going to come myself and fix it for you. He never said that. He said wherever there is decline in religion and increase in irreligion, that's when I will come and fix the situation. He never said I'm going to come like a doctor and fix corona or any plagues or pandemics that come and go. These things are temporary and they will come and they will go. Corona is gone now. Hardly we remember Corona unless we see some memory from that time on Facebook. Oh, Facebook memory. Oh, there was so much problem. We were locked down in the house and we couldn't move, and it was a horrible situation. But that's also gone. That's what Bhagavad Gita teaches us. Like the rainy and winter and summer seasons, happiness and distress will come and go. We don't have to run behind it. We don't have to save it. Okay, I have happiness. I'm going to put this happiness in this pot and close it so that happiness doesn't run away. You can't really do anything about it. It's or else by saying like, oh, it's while of winter season, so it's snowing. So let me put some snow and save it. You cannot save it. It will be water, and after some time, it will be evaporated. Just let time take its course, and everything will be fine. So yes, let's read 13th verse, or 13th verse we read now. And Prabhupada is continuing to say the same thing, that demons have no faith in God, and because they want to always fight God and fight devotees, they want to prove. The problem with the devotee is he does not want to prove that God exists. He is happy that God exists, and I'm servant of God, I'm serving God. He doesn't want to prove anybody that God exists. But when it comes to a demon, when it comes to an atheist, he wants to always prove that God does not exist. This and this happened, yes, God does not exist. Corona came, God does not exist. I met with an accident, broke my hand, God does not exist. Like God told me in the Bhagavad Gita, or Bible or Quran, that if you happen to get into an accident, I will make sure that your hand does not break. No, God does not say that. So that's the problem, because we do not read the scripture, we become atheists, and when we become atheists, we try to give out all sorts of our own mental understandings of what God should be. God should be my servant, he should come and serve me, or else God does not exist. If I have problems, God should solve my problem, or else God does not exist. That's not what God is here to do for. God is not going to be your servant and say, okay, I'm here. Thank you for praying for me, praying to me. Now tell me, what do you want me to wash your clothes, or No, that's not what God is there for. God is like fire. Fire, if we take fire as an example, fire, even if somebody like me who knows the characteristics of fire, if I put my hand in fire, it is going to burn, or I'm going to get hurt. It's going to burn me. And even a small child, a 1-year-old child, even if it's playfully, oh, it's looking so nice and glowy, let me put my hand, his hand will also burn. So God, whether you know God or you don't know God, whether you believe God or whether you don't believe in God, you can't say, oh, I don't believe in fire, I'm going to put my hand and it's not going to get burned. No, it is a law of nature that your hand is supposed to burn. And who made this law of nature? God made this law of nature. So God is also like that. You believe or you don't believe, God continues to exist. So let's read a few verses. They do not have purports. So we'll stop after reading those two verses, and we will meet tomorrow. Text 14. Being obsessed with anger, Hiranyakasipu, who was very great in bodily strength, thus chastised his exalted devotee son Prahlad with harsh words, cursing him again and again. Hiranyakashipu took up his sword, got up from his throne, and with great anger struck his fist against the column. Column being referred to as pillar in the previous verses. So yes, text 15. Translation. When from within the pillar came a fearful sound, which appeared to crack the covering of the universe. O my dear Yudhishthir, this sound reached even the abodes of the demigods like Brahma, and when the demigods heard it, they thought, oh, now our planets are being destroyed. Purport, commentary by Prabhupada, it's only 2 lines, so and it's very self-explanatory, so I don't have to explain. As sometimes, sorry, as we sometimes become very much afraid at the sound of thunderbolt. Thunderbolt is the sound when it makes while raining, the lightning sound, that's thunderbolt sound. Perhaps thinking that our houses will be destroyed. The great demigods like Lord Brahma feared the thundering sound that came from the pillar in front of Hiranyakashipu. And Narasimhadeva is going to appear from this same pillar. Narasimhadev Bhagwan ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. Thank you very much for joining us today. Join me tomorrow for the appearance day of Narasimhadev. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.